Hello and welcome. Today, our StickMan friend is here to guide you through the world of addiction. You might think addiction only means things like drugs or alcohol, but it can show up in surprising places, like always needing to watch videos while you eat. These habits can sneak into our daily routines without us even noticing. Let's take a closer look at how addiction can be much more common and relatable than we might expect. In today's world, it seems like there's always something grabbing our attention. From endless scrolling on our phones to the constant ping of notifications, our brains have gotten used to being stimulated all the time. This makes it tricky to break free from habits that can quickly turn addictive. Even simple things like checking messages or watching videos can become hard to resist. It's almost as if our minds are wired to crave that next little burst of excitement, making it a real challenge to step back and take a break. Addictions might start off feeling fun or harmless, but they can quickly take a toll on our lives. When we overindulge, our health can suffer, making us feel tired or unwell. Productivity often drops, as it becomes harder to focus on important tasks. Over time, even our self-esteem can take a hit, leaving us feeling less confident and more isolated. It's a reminder that balance is key to staying happy and healthy. Quitting can feel like climbing a never-ending hill, and our StickMan knows this all too well. Each time he declares, "This is day one," he's full of hope, only to find himself slipping back down and starting over. The cycle repeats, with every attempt bringing a mix of determination and a dash of frustration. But through all the ups and downs, he keeps getting back up, ready to give it another shot, even if his stick arms are getting a little tired. Let's take a peek inside the StickMan brain to see what's really going on with addiction. When something feels good, like eating a cookie or winning a game, our brain releases a chemical called dopamine. This creates a burst of pleasure, making our StickMan do a happy dance. But here's the twist. The more often this happens, the harder it is for the brain to feel good without another dopamine spike. So, our StickMan ends up chasing that feeling, caught in a cycle of ups and downs, just trying to keep the good times rolling. Imagine our StickMan friend discovering a delicious piece of cake. As he takes a bite, his dopamine levels shoot up, making him feel extra happy. But after the excitement fades, his dopamine dips below normal, leaving him a bit less cheerful than before. This roller coaster effect explains why chasing constant pleasure can sometimes lead to unexpected lows. Our StickMan reminds us that balance is key to feeling good in the long run. Imagine StickMan hopping onto a roller coaster that never seems to end. Each loop represents a quick burst of excitement, followed by a sudden drop into disappointment. As StickMan keeps chasing these thrilling moments, he finds himself stuck in a cycle of ups and downs. This pattern makes it tough to step off the ride, showing how the search for instant pleasure can trap us in habits that are hard to break. Even though the ride looks fun at first, it quickly becomes exhausting and difficult to escape. Imagine our StickMan faced with two choices: a big red button that gives an instant jolt of excitement, and a thick book that promises satisfaction, but only after some time. Quick dopamine hits, like scrolling endlessly on your phone or eating a sugary snack, feel amazing right away but fade just as fast. On the other hand, slow rewards, like finishing a good book or learning a new skill, take patience but leave you feeling accomplished for much longer. It's a bit like choosing between a sugar rush and a steady, nourishing meal. One is flashy, the other is fulfilling. Quitting something all at once might sound simple, but for most people, it's not that easy. Addiction isn't just a bad habit. It's often tangled up in everyday routines like morning coffee or winding down after work. When you try to stop suddenly, your mind and body notice the change right away, and that can make you feel uncomfortable or stressed. StickMan knows that breaking these patterns takes more than just willpower. It means finding new ways to fill those moments. That's why just stop isn't always the best advice. The first step is all about self-awareness. StickMan reminds us that it's okay to admit when something has gotten out of control. By honestly acknowledging an addiction, we take a brave leap toward making positive changes. Recognizing how this habit affects daily life isn't always easy, but it's an important part of moving forward. Remember, even a simple stick figure can show a lot of courage with just one honest moment. Stickman remembers when video games used to take up all his free time. One day, he decided to try something new and swapped his controller for a pair of sneakers. At first, it wasn't easy, but soon he found that working out gave him the same excitement and even more energy. Now, instead of chasing high scores, Stickman enjoys setting new personal bests at the gym. It turns out, building healthy habits can be just as rewarding as any game. Instead of reaching for your phone or that extra cookie, Stickman has some clever ideas for boosting your mood. How about getting lost in a good book, trying out a few yoga stretches, or doodling your own masterpiece? Even a simple chat with a friend can work wonders. These activities are not only fun, but they also give your brain a healthy dose of dopamine. Who knew feeling good could be so simple and stick-friendly? Now, let's talk about developing a brand new obsession. When you set your sights on a positive goal, your mind starts to fill up with fresh energy and excitement. Stickman knows that focusing on something new, like learning to juggle, running a marathon, or even building a tower of blocks, can help push out old cravings. The trick is to let this new passion take center stage in your thoughts. Before you know it, there's hardly any room left for those pesky old habits. Stickman knows that sometimes life can feel a bit routine. That's why he's always on the lookout for new hobbies and goals to explore. Whether it's learning to juggle, doodling funny faces, or even trying out a new sport, Stickman believes that filling your mind with positive pursuits can spark joy and creativity. So don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. There's a whole world of interests waiting for you to discover. Sometimes, when an urge pops up, trying to fight it head-on can feel like wrestling a stubborn noodle. Instead, Stickman suggests a clever trick. Gently steer your thoughts toward a happy memory. Picture a sunny picnic, a funny moment with friends, or even the taste of your favorite snack. By focusing on something positive, you give your mind a chance to relax, and the urge often fades away on its own. It's like taking a mental detour to a much nicer place. Sometimes, when our minds feel cloudy or stressed, we might turn to certain habits to feel better, like eating too many cookies or scrolling endlessly on our phones. Stickman knows that poor mental health can make these habits even harder to resist. But there's good news. Simple actions, like talking to a friend, taking a walk, or even drawing a silly face, can help boost your mood. Remember, taking care of your mind is just as important as caring for your body. Little steps can make a big difference in feeling better every day. When life gets a little overwhelming, there are plenty of healthy ways to cope. Simple practices like meditation can help calm the mind, while taking a moment each day to feel grateful lifts your spirits. Spending time with friends or family adds a boost of connection and laughter. And don't forget, even a quick walk or a few jumping jacks can do wonders for your mood. These small habits can make a big difference in supporting your mental well-being. Now, Stickman has a clever trick up his sleeve, changing the way he sees himself. Instead of thinking, "I'm just someone with a bad habit," he starts to imagine himself as a person who makes healthy choices. This shift in self-image can make a big difference, helping old habits lose their grip. When Stickman believes he's capable of change, it becomes much easier to act like it too. Sometimes, all it takes is a new perspective to break free from stubborn addictions. Imagine yourself as the best version you can be. Stickman is here to cheer you on. Instead of focusing on old habits, picture the person you truly want to become. Every small action you take today brings you closer to that ideal self. With a little imagination and a lot of stick-to-itiveness, you can step out of the shadow of addiction and into a brighter, happier future. Sometimes, even the most determined stickman can trip over his own shoelaces. Relapse is a normal part of making any big change, and it doesn't mean you've failed. Instead of being hard on yourself, take a deep breath and look at what happened with curiosity, not criticism. Every stumble is just another step in learning and growing. Remember, even stickmen need a moment to dust themselves off before moving forward. Sometimes, we all make mistakes. Yes, even stick figures. The important thing is to remember that being kind to yourself helps you grow. Instead of aiming for perfection, focus on the small steps you take forward. Progress is about learning and improving, not getting everything right the first time. So, give yourself a little grace and keep moving ahead with a smile. Overcoming addiction isn't a straight path from start to finish. Imagine our stickman friend climbing a wobbly staircase, sometimes taking a step forward, sometimes sliding back a little. Progress often comes with unexpected twists and turns, and that's completely normal. What matters most is sticking with it, even when things get a bit bumpy. Over time, those small steps add up, leading to real and lasting change. Sometimes, progress comes in tiny steps, and that's perfectly okay. Stickman reminds us that every little achievement deserves a moment of celebration, whether it's finishing a task or just getting started. By recognizing these small wins, we build momentum and keep our motivation high. So, don't forget to give yourself a pat on the back, even for the little things. After all, every big journey is made up of lots of little steps. Once upon a time, Stickman found himself caught in a loop of daily habits that weren't exactly helpful. Each day felt the same, and he often wondered if things would ever change. But with a little determination and a lot of wobbly stick figure effort, he started making small, positive choices. Over time, Stickman noticed he felt lighter, happier, and even a bit proud of himself. Now he looks back at his journey with a big smile, feeling fulfilled and ready for whatever comes next. Breaking old habits isn't easy, but Stickman knows that persistence is the key. Every small step forward counts, even if it feels like progress is slow. With a little determination and a lot of patience, anyone can make lasting changes. Remember, it's normal to stumble along the way. What matters is getting back up and trying again. Let's quickly recap the main strategies for quitting addiction. First, self-awareness helps you recognize your triggers and habits. Next, finding healthy replacements keeps your hands and mind busy in a positive way. Obsession can be redirected. Pour your energy into new hobbies or goals. Taking care of your mental health and building a new identity support lasting change. And remember, if you stumble and relapse, it's just a step on the journey, not the end of the road. When Stickman decides to break free from addiction, everything starts to look a little brighter. He finds himself smiling more, getting things done faster, and feeling proud of his achievements. Life becomes less about chasing old habits and more about enjoying new experiences. With every step forward, Stickman discovers a deeper sense of happiness and fulfillment. It turns out, letting go opens the door to a much more joyful and productive life. Stickman wants to remind you that everyone starts somewhere, and trying new things is the first step to getting better. Don't worry if things aren't perfect right away. Practice makes progress. With each attempt, you'll find yourself improving, just like Stickman does. So, give it a go and remember to have a little fun along the way. Stickman knows that everyone has their own clever tricks for tackling challenges. Maybe you've discovered a shortcut, or have a funny story about what works best for you. Don't keep those ideas to yourself. Stickman would love to hear them. Share your favorite strategies or experiences in the comments, and let's help each other out. After all, even the simplest stick figures can learn something new. And there you have it. Our Stickman friend may be made of just a few lines and a circle, but even he knows that happiness is all about the little things. Remember, every day is a new chance to add a smile to your face. No fancy art supplies needed. Good luck on your journey to a happier life, and may your stick figure always stand tall and cheerful.